A hunter's resolve. The chill morning air bit at Riku's exposed skin, a stark contrast to the burning rage and profound grief that simmered within him. He knelt, cradling Aika against his chest, her form unnaturally still, her heavy breathing the only sound apart from the distant whisper of the wind through the pines. The village, once vibrant with the scent of charcoal and the murmur of life, was now a tomb of shattered wood and silent shadows. His family, gone. Taro Kenzaki stood a few paces away, his Nichiren blade still drawn, its dark steel reflecting the faint pre-dawn light. His gaze, usually sharp and unyielding, softened almost imperceptibly as he observed the siblings. He had seen countless horrors, cut down countless demons. But the sight of a human clinging to their transformed kin was always a difficult one. He was a moon hunter, bound by an ancient code, eradicate all Nightborn. Yet, Aika Hoshino had not devoured her brother. She had shielded him. "You should have killed me," Riku rasped, his voice raw, not looking up. "It would have been merciful." Taro's eyes narrowed slightly. "Mercy is not a luxury afforded to Nightborn, boy. But your sister, she is different. She did not consume you. She protected you." He lowered his blade, the soft clink of steel against its sheath echoing in the silence. "Such an anomaly is rare. Dangerous, yes. But perhaps not without hope." Riku finally looked up, his eyes bloodshot, a desperate flicker igniting within their depths. "Hope? For what? She's a monster." Aika stirred at the word, a low growl rumbling in her throat. But she didn't lash out. Instead, she pressed her face against Riku's shoulder, as if seeking comfort. "She is a Nightborn, yes," Taro conceded, his voice firm. "But she retains a shred of humanity. The Moon Hunter's core exists to eradicate these creatures. But there are whispers, ancient texts, of a way. A cure, for those who haven't fully succumbed." He paused, his gaze sweeping over the devastated village. "It is a fool's hope, perhaps. A dangerous path. But if you truly wish to fight them, if you truly wish to find a way to save her, then seek out the core." Riku's mind reeled. A cure? It sounded impossible, a cruel jest. Yet, the word resonated deep within him, a fragile seed of light in his abyssal despair. Where do I find them?" Taro turned, his silhouette stark against the encroaching dawn. "We are hidden, but our purpose is known. Travel east, through the great cedar forest. Seek the village of Kageyama, nestled in the foothills of the Whispering Peaks. Ask for the Shadow's lantern. Be discreet. Be watchful. Not all who claim to fight Nightborn are allies." He looked back at Riku, his expression unreadable. "This path is not for the faint of heart, boy. It will demand everything from you. Vengeance alone will not be enough. You will need a will forged in fire." With that, Taro Kenzaki vanished into the fading darkness of the forest, leaving Riku alone with his transformed sister and the haunting echoes of his past. The sun climbed higher, casting long, accusing shadows across the ruined village. Riku carefully laid Aika down beside him. She whimpered softly, pulling her knees to her chest, her eyes, once so full of laughter, now a luminous, unsettling gold. He looked at the bodies of his parents, his grandparents, scattered amidst the debris. The pain was a physical weight, crushing his chest, stealing his breath. But beneath it, a new emotion stirred, a cold, resolute fury. He would not let their deaths be in vain. He would not let Aika remain like this. He spent the rest of the morning. His hands, though sore and blistered, worked with a tireless resolve. He dug graves for his family in the small, sun-dappled clearing behind their home, where they used to share meals and stories. He used broken planks of wood as makeshift markers, carving their names with a shard of pottery. Aika watched him, quiet and still, occasionally letting out a soft whine when he looked particularly strained. As he placed the last stone, a single tear tracked a path through the grime on his cheek. "I promise," he whispered to the freshly turned earth. "I will avenge you, and I will save Aika. His next task was for Aika. He found a sturdy wooden chest, once used to store charcoal, and reinforced it with salvaged metal straps. He cut small holes for ventilation and lined the inside with soft cloth. It was crude, but it would serve. Aika, sensing his intent, watched with an almost childlike curiosity. When he gently urged her inside, she hesitated, her golden eyes wide. But the trust she held for him eventually won out. She curled up, surprisingly compact. And Riku secured the latch, leaving it slightly ajar for air. "You'll be safe in here during the day, Aika," he murmured, running a hand over the rough wood. "The sun. It's not good for you." He strapped the heavy box to his back, the weight a constant reminder of his burden and his purpose. He carried only a few necessities: a water skin, some dried rations he'd found, a small, worn knife. He took one last look at the ruins of his home, at the fresh graves. The memories, both beautiful and horrific, were etched forever into his soul. Then, Riku Hoshino, a boy who had lost everything, turned his back on the ashes of his past. With his sister secured safely on his back, a Nichiren blade's promise echoing in his mind, and a flickering ember of hope in his heart, he began his perilous journey towards the rising sun. The path ahead was unknown, fraught with unimaginable dangers. But his resolve, forged in grief and vengeance, was as unyielding as the mountains that now loomed in the distance. He would find the moon hunters. He would find a cure. He would make them pay.